big items. They focus on that kind of third Roshan where they get the Refresher Shard. But in lane, Shadow Shaman just feels awful.
Yeah,
Has Aether Shock got
that's
nerfed?
true. Yes, Aether Shock, both of the spells got nerfed. And also, like, he's the lane bully. If you have a solo offlaner, he's just gonna bully you out because of the right-click damage that he has. Also, he can just use the Aether Shock. But right now, because of the dual lanes, that hero is not weak. He's not strong in 2 versus 2 scenarios. I'm surprised that we don't see Axe picked up. Axe, one of the better heroes against the Morphling. Also Skywrath Mage. That's one of my favorite combos right now. The dual lane. Axe plus Sky. You just use Battle Hunger, spam the Q from Skywrath Mage. That's ton of damage. Like, the enemy support just feels so miserable against that.
Like, oh, your Skywrath has a null and clarities. What am I ever going to do? We've seen teams first phase those 2 heroes as well. But there is the DK Morphling that I was talking about a little earlier on. But now you know that Pain doesn't really have a slot for the AA. You feel so much safer saying, hey, we've got DK, we've got Morphling, we've got all of this tankiness and HP regen, but we also have a ton of tower pushing potential, right? Ulti from DK,
yes.
Serpent Wards, Morphling with Agi form. Does a whole ton of damage.
So it's an off-lane Nature's Prophet. I'm really not convinced by Pain Gaming's lineup right now. They have Bounty Hunter and Disruptor. Even in the previous patches, I found that opening really weak because even if you tri-lane against that, if you dual lane, they don't provide you anything. Disruptor is one of the weakest heroes in 3 versus 3. Bounty Hunter just plays a center ward. That hero is dead. Maybe they can have a little bit of advantage with Nature's Prophet, who can TP and they can outnumber them. But I'm not convinced. Like, these 2 supports are really weak. They're gonna need to play around the Bounty Hunter's track to get them the advantage that they want. I remember they had pretty much the exact same lineup in one of their games. Gyro went like insane that game. The amount of the farm that he had combined that with extra gold from the bounty. So, but I'm not sure. Like, they have nothing to start a fight with. Yes, they're gonna have a good vision and good glimpse potential with Bounty Hunter track, a lot of chase, a lot of kiting stuff. Gyro, pretty speedy hero if you add the move speed from the track as well. But they don't have the ways to start a fight. They have no save, no reliable stun. So once the cores on Team Liquid, let's say, if they get BKBs at one point, they're going to have pretty much nothing. So this is the lineup that they want. They want to snowball so hard. Templar Assassin, one of the heroes that snowballs the best, so they're going to play around the first and second Roach timing. I just speak too much, Gary. You go on.
No, I mean, you're making a lot of sense, and the cogs are kind of whirring in my head going, I agree. Disruptor and Bounty, they have this kind of weird situation where they're do shit heroes, right? They're meant to do stuff in lane, harass people back, but there are certain parameters that when they're filled means that they are do nothing heroes, and they kind of have to fall back and run away because they don't offer you, like you were just saying, I mean, no reliable stun, no save, no catch. I'm looking at this and thinking Disruptor Gyro have a lot on their plate because that teamfight combo between Static Storm, Kinetic Field, Cooldown needs to land not just onto one core. They can't go for solo pickoffs unless, obviously, they're like 5v1. But in a team fight, in a 5v5 or a 3v3, whatever it might be, they need these big ultis to land and connect. But the draft overall feels like Pain Gaming giving the middle finger to Liquid and saying, we're going to outskill you. We're going to outlane you. We're going to make sure that everything goes our way. And this Nature's Prophet, you're talking about the 2 supports again. Tavo has to be in every fight, right?
Yeah,
he has to be in every single fight.
And his timing on Orchid must be really good. So they're going to need to win his lane because he wants to be the one TPing, shutting down people, especially the Morphling. If Morphling is not caught in the Static Storm, this Morphling is not dying. So this is one of the games where Morphling could end with 0 deaths. Easily. They have nothing. They have no silence besides Disruptor ulti, no burst damage, no stuns to control him.
Like, the only burst damage they have is, like, Meld Strike and Shuriken. That's how ridiculous it is at this point. But there is a route of itemization that you're looking at, right? You mentioned Tavo's Orchid. Also, Weeha on this TA needs that Deso, Blink, needs to farm Ancients. They need to secure this TA's farm. as she progresses forward into, you know, the kind of Hurricane Pike or Bloodthorn Nullifier route that I kind of expect this time around. But the lane setup from Liquid, we're going to be looking at what? A Kuroki Miracle, Shadow Shaman Wolfling safe lane, and then a Sand King Beastmaster aggressive dual lane. I feel like Bounty Hunter is going to be running around, scratching his head, wondering what he's meant to do with his life.
It's not an easy game for Bounty Hunter. You can't gank mid because it's a Dragon Knight, so that's a tough kill to get.
Prepare for battle.
This is really weak lineup from Pain Gaming, I'd like to say so. They need to snowball really hard. They're gonna need to win mid lane, which is not gonna be that easy. Dragon Knight's still gonna farm. I'm not sure if they can shut down Morph. Again, we go back to the game number 1 between Team Spirit and Virtus.pro. If Team Liquid wins a team fight near the tier 2 tower, they're just gonna clear your side. Beastmaster or a Dragon Knight tower damage, Shadow Shaman, and you have a Morph who can just morph everything back into agility. So that's a ton of the damage.
You know, we've literally mentioned everything except for wave clear. What? Like, does Pain have great wave clear here? Gyro, I guess.
TA provides a good wave clear, but both of the supports provide none.
It's not
Okay,
safe,
you
right?
have Nature's Prophet with his ulti, but you don't want to just clear out, use the ulti just for the pushing out waves all the time. That's not that good because it steals a lot of farm from both of your cores as well. On the other hand, you have Shadow Shaman, who's decent. You have Beastmaster sanking, like pretty much every single hero on side of Team Liquid is good at clearing the wave. Disruptor in problem. What do they got? Breathe Fire.
Oh, one more tap. GH doesn't have boots. This is a Sand King that started Orb of Venom. Scout Shield, sorry, my apologies. So no Windlace, no boots. I'm looking to chase down King RD on this bounty, but no reveal either. Dust in the quick buy. No sentries up in this top lane, and mid lane, but Tumberman has missed out on his block. So we are with a TA looking to hold this wave up near her ramp. Well, let's have a look at these lanes, shall we? Because Tavo, King RD start bottom. So you've got the Prophet Bounty with some aggressive potential. Kuroki will struggle in this lane as the Shadow Shaman, and he needs to get the sentry down ASAP. This could maybe be a bit of a trouble for Miracle, but I think they'll be okay for now. But then you look at the opposite side of the map, GH and Mind Control. This is a lot of aggressive power on Liquid's side.
Oh, Kuroki's gonna die. The body block. One more hit.
Has he got it? Tavo, long range, but King RD with a nice little swipe there. That is Kuroki, like we were looking at, in a lot of trouble in this bottom lane.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing. Shadow Shaman is not that great in 2 versus 2 scenarios. We see why, especially against the great lane bully like Nature's Prophet. You have Orb of Venom and the Blightstone on Nature's Prophet, Orb of Venom on a Bounty Hunter. So that's going to be a ton of damage and slow. His move speed is not that great early on. So bottom lane is what they're looking to win. We mentioned Sand King's item build, Stout Shield. He had 6 tangos and a healing salve. So he wants to tank all the damage. So pay attention. This is how you play position 4 right now. You don't need boots of speed because you're not running away anywhere. You want to be the one who's tanking the damage. So both of them have Stout Shield. That's a lot of right-click physical damage mitigation in that lane.
Yeah, like, you don't have that kind of fluid movement either. It's no longer, like, Pos 4 is no longer that Earth Spirit, Sand King, Tusk, roaming from lane to lane, looking for pickoffs and plays. It really is just solid, consistent laning potential that you look from your Pos 4 at this point. GH and Mind Control showing that off quite nicely top lane as they do go in for a stun. Duster tanks a ton of damage, but Mind Control equally will get traded off here, so the 1-for-1 is there. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Miracle drops, turnaround from Kuroki, takes down Tavo with a big old Rasta hits, and GH will be left alone top for now. Action on all sides of the map.
Yeah, we see more and more action because there's simultaneously actions happening on both lanes. Mid is pretty much 1 versus 1 these days, and everyone is kind of equally skilled, so you don't expect TA to die to a Dragon Knight, and goes the other way around.
Oh, Miracle. Oh, 2 more. 1 more. Hell, that's a lot of damage. 77 as he has shifted pretty much fully into Agi.
So that's a second death on tower. They're going to need to keep these 2 versus 2 lanes. But Bounty Hunter can't do what he needs to do. Okay, he's going to get a pick off on Kuroki. good play from King RD.
Very nice snipe, but top lane again. They're going in onto HFN. Mind Control and GH will retreat away from that damage from Duster as well. But bottom lane, they're going in again. Looks like they're going for a bit of a poke there onto Miracle. Tavo and King RD shoving the wave under the tier 1 and forcing Miracle to really suffer as the Treants will be able to also deny out a couple of these range creeps, helping out Tavo quite nicely. But I think mid lane is worth looking at here. 10 and 5 DK, and Weehaw is 19 and 10. Almost a full level ahead of this Dragon Knight at this point, and he just doesn't care until Shadow Shaman arrives. And now maybe Weehaw is going to start worrying about what's happening. Very Fire and Mango ready for the Refraction meld if required. And TA walks away, no problems.
I'm not sure TA should destroy Dragon Knight like this in the laning stage. It was classic 1 versus 1. With the points in Dragon Blood, he doesn't get harassed that much, and he can take a lot of damage from Refraction with the Breathe Fire. That's a solo kill. He went 1 versus 2. Wow, but Shuriken damage level 1, 150.
Got him. And top lane, Kuroki. Well, he made the long rotation top. I think he was hasted there as he sprinted up towards top lane. He was indeed. So Miracle, I feel like that's a bit of a misplay by Miracle. A very rare one. Uncharacteristic there as he was toying with the bounty, right? He's toggling strength on, toggling it off, trying to get that optimal amount of damage from the right clicks. But exactly as you mentioned, that Shuriken, 150 damage, the value point. Absolutely monumental there for King RD as he picks up that nice little solo kill himself.
So they let Morph alone bottom so he can get the levels. This is a more popular build on Morph. Just get 1 point in wave form, get the adaptive strike early on for the extra kill potential and the stun. So you can cancel the TPs and have 3 points. Just max this shift ability so they can't kill you.
Is he going to go in again?
Yeah, the Morphling is just insane hero.
So much damage. I mean, Miracle now tanking the tower, but dealing with King RD and Tavo alone, while top lane, the aggressive tri-lane, but HFN turns and burns. He's gotten 2, but Mind Control will swing back and take down the Gyro. But that is a 3-for-1 exchange where Liquid lose out heavily.
This is a good trade for Pain Gaming. Both Disruptor and Gyro are getting levels, just sharing between these two. Even when Gyro dies, means Disruptor will get a lot of levels. So that's a level 2 glimpse. Also, Gyro is almost level 6. And if you look at the Beastmaster, level 4, Sanking level 3. So once Gyro hits the level 6, there's so much more kill potential.
And it's going to lead to a nice situation, right, where Disruptor hits level 6 at like 10 minutes, and Bounty Hunter can buy the Tome for that track to get these fights going, enable the glimpse. As a quick dust there, it looks like from GH. His smoke popped, but King RD is well out of range. He gets himself back into the river. TA traps from Weehaw. They're doing a decent chunk here to Summerman with the side blades as well, but GH arrives. Kuroki ready with the sentry and the shackles.
Oh, that shackle range.
I don't think TA dies here still. They're TPing the Nature's Prophet in, and Weehaw's going to turn around and fight. A side blade splash in onto GH, through to Summerman, and the Burrow Strike. Not quite dodging the glimpse, but still. Buys a bit of time for himself, but Pain Gaming have responded and answered everything Liquid have thrown at them really nicely.
That's a hard kill to get. Templar Assassin with level 4 Refraction used it twice, so it means 12 instances of damage.
Which means she doesn't die.
Yes. So Gyro has a TP ready. He is level 6, almost level 7. They should be careful about diving the tower. That's what Gyro wants to do. He wants the TP, get the return kills. There he goes.
Down to bottom, and Miracle, strength morphing away, gets out of the trees. Not enough damage to break his knees there as Pain Gaming, they do try, but it looks like they'll pressure into tier 1 bottom lane and just force Miracle away, or force some kind of reaction from Liquid to come in and defend, and it looks like it'll be the former rather than the latter. Miracle TP's top, gets the hell out of bottom lane. Duster in a spot of trouble here, but a good glimpse back onto Mind Control means that there is no secondary whirling axes. Mind Control trying to sprint forward. I won't catch him, though. Is Kuroki really... Is he going to ward? Okay,
yes.
Ward it. Oh, hello. That's a 80% HP Disruptor. I don't think that's the play. GH under Sandstorm no threat of death until Tavo arrives with a nice little dust. In they go, and down goes GH.
This is gonna be a tower that can't do nothing about it. Should just try to pressure the top with the Beastmaster and Morph. Not sure if they have TPs to respond to the top tower. Cooldown on HFN. Yeah, the top tower is probably gonna go down for Pain Gaming. You can see the mirror movement. Every time someone forces a tier 1 tower, the other team does the exact same thing.
Pain Gaming are just doing it a little bit quicker, right? They've got Treants, Nature's Prophet going to work. Scan from the Dire up onto high ground, making sure that we is safe mid, but also maybe setting up for a bit of a play themselves. King LRD tracking back on GH. Sees the Sand King coming in from the northern side. Gyro with pretty limited mana here will have to pop the Clarity. Call down is now ready as the dust from King RD. GH has no way of escaping. Mind Control tries with the axes to break those trees. Now, Pain Gaming have done exceptionally well in this early stage of the game. Their lanes are going really nicely, but it has to be said, this is something that they needed to do right. This isn't they're doing well and things are going to continue to do well.
Yes.
This is something that they have to continually focus on, is keeping these packs of heroes together to deal with Liquid.
They were dying a lot on the bottom lane, but they also got a lot from it. Top lane was kind of in their favor, and TA crushed the Dragonite. She's 25 CS ahead and 20 denies more.
And a good almost 1,500 net worth ahead as well at this point. Closing in on 10 minutes in. Gyro at the top, Morphling second. But then it's the disparity between the TA and her counterparts there. Mind Control and with GH readying themselves, scanning as well to see if bounty's coming in. They will find absolutely nobody. They'll find a bounty. Sorry, they find a bounty rune. That's worth it. They get something for their trouble. What are your thoughts on Mind Control's build here? Usually I see one or the other, Bottle or Soul Ring, but he's gone for both. What's the big reason here?
They just wanted to keep the pressure on the top lane to have enough mana and sustain so they can stay alive, but it didn't work for them. He has what? Is that Medallion? No, that's just a Power Threads. They want to use this Roar. He's level 7. Shadow Shaman bought the Tome. Bounty Hunter on the other side, so it means Bounty Hunter is level 6. Shadow Shaman is not going to be 6. He needs more XP.
And here it is. This is the key moment that I've been waiting for. 10 minutes in, Disruptor Bounty level 6 with the Gyro ready. But the Roar in onto mid will start things off for Liquid. Very strong movement in. 4 heroes, in fact. And Sweetheart.
Yeah, I think with these 4 heroes, they can lock you down forever. If no one shows up, they can just keep stunning you. This is the first track kill. First Static Storm used. Also, it goes to HFN, which is what they want.
Exactly. Same story top lane, really, but Pain looks like they want to continue fighting. Flat Cannon, where the tracks are going, and the Glimpse back will catch GH, and this will be 2 track kills in a row, but that's huge. 4 heroes there for top and for mid. That's a ton of gold going into the pockets of Pain as they utilize their spells really, really nicely.
Yeah, the vision is great for them. We talked before the game, Bounty Hunter with the track Glimpse. That's always good. You also have traps. You have Nature's Call. So a lot of vision. Glimpse is always going to be used really well this game. Also, Bounty Hunter, he's getting a lot of gold from these tracks. He's involved in 8 out of 13 kills. Yeah, maybe I just jinxed him, but he's going to have a good timing on a Spirit Vessel,
yeah,
which is the best item you can get against the Morphling and the Dragonite early on. And it scales well into the mid and late game as well before he pops a BKB.
You know, I always forget how strong TA's traps get, especially once she hits level 15. Those traps insta-clear creep waves. This TA is going to start racing ahead to that point as well.
There is one thing that needs to be done about the traps. The amount of gold you get from killing a trap, it's not worth 1 gold. Like, it's hard to kill and deals ton of the damage. I'm gonna message my buddy Ice Frog after.
I mean, you need to buy a sentry or a gem. Yes. It can kill a whole creep wave. Like, surely the trap should be worth, like, 30 gold at least.
At least 75.
At least
just
83.
Kidding. But at least 15 to 20 gold.
Yeah. I think so. I think that's
maybe even more, because you need to invest a sentry. That's 100 gold.
We'll go to change.org and we'll put a petition up there. We'll get 10,000 signatures and we'll sort it out for you, Lacoste. We will.
Sounds great, Gary.
Do it all. Absolutely.
Oh, he's gonna glimpse him. Does he have a vision?
Miracle. Kinetic field gives it, and there is the glimpse into GH. Burrow strike. Down goes Duster. And Pain Gaming in a really sticky situation here. They've got Tavo pushing bottom lane, Weehaw farming Ancients. So it felt like they wanted to set up for a fight, but Liquid's aggression and eagerness to really press the issue onto that tier 2 made sure that the Pain couldn't filter in one by one. They had to have this real awkward position of that Disruptor.
I was kind of confused at one point which one is this Raptor and which one is that Raptor.
Oh, dearie me. That's why we pay you the big bucks, is something like that. That's your day rate right there. You don't have to do any more
Alright,
work
I
the rest
quit.
of the week. Kuroki gonna go down. Oh, the Thunderstrike and the stick charges. Turn around with a Hex as well, but Shadow Shaman, he looks pretty much dead to rights. One more tap from Tavo will do the job, and Matoma Man, the bigger target in the back end. We are and HFN shred him to pieces. And that's a 3-for-0 with track kills going the way of Pain as well. This is them getting into the swing of things.
TA has Deso finished and 1,000 gold on top of that. With the next fight that they take, they can easily go for a Roche.
Yeah. This is gonna be like a 16.5, 17-minute blink Deso for the TA. Weehar's done a great job in lane against Matsuma Man, but also
they're just gonna go for it.
Oh, hell yeah! Easy Roche, easy life.
Radiant use scan. I'm not sure if they have enough time. All right. Mind control TPing. They have all the ultis. Bounty Hunter with the haste. He's gonna scout them out.
Oh, this is real scary. No Dragon Form, no Epicenter, no Morph. They have Roar
Traps.
with the Soul Ring usage, but here comes Pain. Roar onto Bounty. Cooldown dropped, and well, King RD will buy back immediately. Miracle nearly dies to the cooldown. He's on such low HP from the Agi shift, but Morphling. Oh, 1500 HP on Roshan. HFN jumping up, running back, chasing forward, but Matsuma Man is tanky up on the front lines until the trap arrives with a TP from Prophet and Kuroki falls. Matsuma Man in trouble. The tracks are flowing and the gold is coming. Miracle stands his ground and Weehaw falls as well. The Serpent Ward's going to work. Liquid must be feeling brave after that fight as they will shift into the Roshan pit and look to secure that Aegis for themselves.
They have a vision plus a static storm.
There's the storm. Mind control's caught, but Morphling on the outskirts of the fight gets glimpsed back in, but not dead just yet. Mind control running up the ramp, but the track gives them the vision they needed to take him down. The raindrop from Duster very nicely keeps him alive, and Miracle forced the morph into him with that Thunderstrike, but GH, 2-man stun. In onto Duster as well, the waveform forward, and Miracle claims the kill with the help of the Sand King, turns back into Disruptor, but dies. Now the cooldown. Pain just keep on chasing forward. They've got more tracks to claim, and GH Epi, is it enough time? Is it enough damage? They've got Tavo, but King RD escapes with his life as Weehaw is like, guys,
this is mad.
Where is everyone?
This is a good call from Bounty Hunter to buy back there. That's going to be a full Spirit Vessel on him, which is going to be huge in the upcoming fights. Roche still didn't die. He's sitting on 2,000 HP, maybe a better trap usage. The Brown was pinging it out during the fights because they had a vision, so they can just slow them down with the traps.
It's going to happen again, Lacoste. Roshan fight, take 2, let's go! In they go, the bash from Roche. Weeha's caught with Roar as well. Mind control spins forward, they want to kill a TA. The Weehaw TA is nearly dead. Mel to get away, a little bit of time bought, but Roshan, one hit away from death. The HFN gets it. Matsuma Man's going to drop inside the pit as well as Mind control, trying to get the kill. One more tap, one more hit, and he gets it. Finally, they bring the TA down, but at what cost, Lacoste?
Wow,
so many heroes lost.
So good for Pain Gaming. Aghanim Scepter on Gyro, that's a ton of the extra damage with the Side Gunner. He picked up the Aegis, and Bounty Hunter used so much mana on those tracks, he didn't even have enough to cast for the last one. Didn't have enough mana. So this is, look at the gold swing.
Whew. Tracks, baby. Tracks on tracks on tracks. I mean, experience-wise going the same way as these fights. HFN, in particular on this Gyro, it might be in a bit of trouble here as the Serpent Wards trap him in. He does have the Aegis, of course, but this will be his first life popped. Duster trying to keep them at bay for as long as possible. But in the meantime, the rest of Pain are coming forward. They're looking to fight. They're going to go forward. Kinetic Field will keep Matuma in place, but there isn't anything really to trap him further. As the DK glimpsed in. Do they have the damage? Of course they do. And MC Roar will not do a damn thing. Pain Gaming, 28-17. They're going to rip apart Mind Control. The Beastmaster's shredded, and GH can't do a damn thing. Here comes High Ground.
This is the high ground with the Dezo. This is ton of track kills, man. This is 4K gold swing in just less than a minute.
Oh boy. Miracle has Lincolns, but he doesn't have anything else. He has that one defensive item, but GH is getting destroyed. Weeha is in deep behind enemy lines. No BKB, no saving item on this TA, so shackled up under the tier 3 tower. Looks like he might be done for. Tries to melt away, but it will be Matuma who breathes fire upon his opponents. And Pain Gaming, they are very, very swiftly getting the hell away from Liquid's base.
Yeah, but this game is still not over. You saw Morphling when he turns into Gyro with the Flak Cannon. It was single-handedly stopping the push with one hero.
It's very good. It's very good. He's got Ghost Scepter now, closing in on that E-Blade. And that is going to be that tool they use to keep Miracle slaying these Pain Gaming players. GH, so far away from Blink.
He got the buyback.
He's gone. He's just got, I mean, he's even further away from Blink.
11 deaths on GH. Like, you would not expect these kinds of things from GH. Wow, man. Yeah, his Blink Dagger's not gonna come anytime soon.
So they banned a load of GH heroes, and they've been chasing GH around the map. It has been an absolutely rough one for this Sand King. He's struggled to get in fights. Shadow Shaman at least can just, plonk the wars down and say, my job's done, guys. I'm out of here. I've fed, but I've baited some spells. But GH needs these Burrow Strikes. He is their kind of main form of secondary initiation, if you want to put it that way. They'll have the Roar, they'll have a DK stun, but it's about that drawing attention away from your Morphling, right? The Beastmaster and the DK, they go in. They have 3, 4, 5 heroes around them. And that's what opens up GH to these multi-man Burrow Strikes. But without a Blink Dagger, it is just so bloody difficult to land them. He hasn't had a chance, really. And Pain looking to try and drive that final nail in the coffin. Top lane, looking for the tier 1. They're grouping up, and they've got all their ultis ready. Liquid looking to match them with Miracle in that Gyro form. Has it ready to switch back with that Morph Replicate as well.
The problem is that Dragonite is also on the bottom chart of the network, so they don't have anything to start a fight with. He needs to run in, and it's really hard against the movement speed that they get from the track. That's a full pipe on the bounty.
Wait, what?
20 minutes in, so that's gonna mitigate a ton of the damage from the Sand King and Morphling's, let's say, Adaptive Strike and Waveform. Also, Beastmaster has a Crimson Guard, so he does not have a mobility item. He went for full tank mode because he wants to be that frontliner, and the Crimson Guard is one of the better items against the Gyro because he mitigates a ton of the damage. Like, you're not receiving damage for 12 seconds when the Crimson Guard is on.
Well, Liquid have done a good job defending this tier 1 top. And at the same time, they're farming Matuma in towards that Blink, which it looks like he's delayed his... I don't know if he's going to finish BKB and then go Blink, or if he's going to try and get the Blink as soon as possible, tying in with what you were saying about that need for initiation. But Pain Gaming, they start the fight off without any of Liquid really having a chance. And GH, he does get a 2-man burrow, but it took some time and he will die. 2 for nothing in that very, very quick skirmish. They were in, they were out, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And Pain Gaming take a tier 1 for nothing, and it looks like it might be a tier 2 as well.
There's also a double damage on the top. Matuma is going to pick it up. They're not stopping. They just need to keep this pressure. Rasta Ward's used. He's just buying time for his team, trying to drive the attention from the top lane. But they have really mobile heroes. They have Nature's Prophet. They have Bounty. One TPing, the other one just using teleportation. That's it. Also, Nature's Prophet finished his Orchid.
Yeah.
So it means that Morphling will have a really hard time in the fights. They can easily burst him down.
Here we go again, High Ground. Volume 2. Orchid forward, Tavo looking. GH still silenced and tracked. So they know where the Sand King's coming from and where he's going to. But with the tier 3 down, it looks like Pain relatively happy with what they've gathered. And with the gold that they're going to be getting into their little pockets. And there is a pretty juicy item for Weehaw. BKB complete.
Roche?
Nice and toasty.
Roche may respawn in the next 2 minutes, so they don't need to rush anything. But this, oh my god, the advantage. 20,000 at this point.
It's massive. It's absolutely massive. I mean, you look at Duster, a player that is very similar to Solo in the amount of net worth and the kind of game that he has. You know, he is that kind of position 7, poverty power. He doesn't care about items, he only cares about team play. But he has a Glimmer Cape this game. He has a save. And that's something that you were looking for in the draft, is that these heroes do not innately have the tools that they need to win the game. But if they have a good laning stage, they can itemize for it. And that's pretty much what we talked about in the draft, right? They have an avenue of itemization that allows them to become incredibly strong. But it's the bridging the gap between laning phase and these mid-game items that I thought, anyway, would be much more difficult. But Liquid have stuttered, tried to stall out this game as much as possible, farming up on the Miracle Morphling and closing in on Eaglesong, 100 gold away from it, in fact. But they have to defend high ground in the next 20-30 seconds as HFN shoves out this mid-wave. Bottom is already in as Nature's Prophet, Tavo, has done a great job just keeping multiple lanes in at the same time.
He's gonna go for Ethereal Blade, but he's gonna be really vulnerable. Someone needs to tank the Static Storm, otherwise this morph could easily dive. He doesn't start morphing before. Roche may respawn 15 seconds. We'll see. Pain has a good vision on the Roche with the trap. Gem picked up by a Bounty Hunter. So they want to get rid of all the vision that they have. Try to close the game. Get the Roche. Smoke. They know about the Roche timing. Let's see when it's going to spawn. Pretty long as spawn time. More than a minute and a half. DK has a Blink Dagger now, so he's going to be the one positioning himself good. So ideally, they need to take down Disruptor before he can cast any spells. Either him or try to lock down, let's say, Nature's Prophet. But the problem is if you lock down Nature's Prophet, there's always a fear of him just buying back and teleporting back. Yeah. And you wasted all of your spells, BKB durations.
You know, there's one word that I didn't ever think I would use about CIS or South American teams, and that word is systematic. But over the past 6 months or so, even the past year, you look at these CIS and South American teams, and they have become so much better at this kind of breaking teams down, you know, bit by bit. They're not going for the big all-or-nothing flashy plays. They're like, right, tier 1, tier 2, Roshan, Shrines, come back, farm stacks, move in, shove lanes, and everything is going kind of algorithmically and smoothly, going step by step from A to B to C. Whereas previously we used to see, you know, CIS and South American teams go from A to Pi to Quark 372 because you have no idea what's going on. But
yeah, that's correct. They got a lot better over the time.
It's become amazing. Weehaw being added to this roster. Absolutely huge for them as well, but Liquid cannot count them out. They've struggled, they're behind, but this is a world-class team. If there is any team that can find a little nook or cranny to weasel themselves back into the game, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Liquid here, especially with a Miracle Morphling as he moves in towards a BKB of his own. But here we go, Lacoste, Roshan is alive. I think both teams are going to start eyeing this one up.
Yeah, you mentioned during the DAC, I had a dinner with Tavo and their manager about them bringing in fresh blood, either a coach from the West or a player, and that then they decided to get a player from the West because they want to get into a different way of thinking. You can feel that South Americans were, I'm just gonna shut up now.
It's only a disruptor, mate. You can keep going. It's only a disruptor. He's not landed all of his spells. Oh, maybe it's more than a disruptor now. Tavo in trouble. There's the GH epicenter. King RD and HFN still looking to fight. They pop the call down and they're moving forward. But down goes the Prophet. Buyback from both. Duster and Tavo come in, and Weehaw's looking for targets. He's killed off Kuroki. He's ready to fight with his BKB blink ready to go. Miracle. Oh, they jump him instead. They're moving forward onto the TA. The stuns. There we go. Blown the hell up. But Miracle will trade his life for it. And Matumba Man taken down by HFN. The gyro. The hidden cat. Gary, the secret sneaky one. They absolutely remove Liquid from this best of one. 21-39, and they don't care Roche, they only care Rax.
2 buybacks from them, Disruptor and Bounty, so all of them were track kills, and they just needed that Spirit Vessel in the fights. If Disruptor connected ulti on the Morph before he died, Glimmer kept him alive, they could have just blown up the Morph because he has no defensive item, and now he bought back. Same goes for GH. At least he has a Blink Dagger at this point.
Where did the Dire Courier die? Rip Courier. I think that was a mech for the Bounty Hunter. Down in the gutters now. Roshan down to a third of his HP, and Liquid.
They can see them. They're using the trap, plus they have a ward. So this is a pretty secured Roche for them. Gyro's gonna pick it up. That's a Cheese and Aegis. He's probably just gonna high-five the Cheese to the TA. They need to focus the Gyro in the team fights because of the Flak Canyon, plus a side gunner. I mean, he has Butterfly and 1.7k gold on top of that. He just deals a ton of the damage, and he has all the vision in the world to deal that damage with the Flak Cannon. The tracks, the Nature's Prophet summons, the traps, the whatever, man. The Thunderstrike, the vision game is really strong.
I mean, what's the cooldown on E-Blade? It's reasonably long, 20 seconds. And if you think about the need, like the requirement that you have to blow up Weehar's TA early on, Gyro, it just stands in the back lines, throwing out these flat cannons with, like, you know, like you're saying, with a track, just enabling this Gyro to just stand there and whip out the damage. I don't think Weehar cares significantly about trading his life for a good position for the, again, Duster and HFN. They have been following each other around the map for the past 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
It has been the Disruptor and Gyro show with their nice little circle plays, throwing their ultis.
Yo, buddy, give me cheese, give me cheese. And there it goes. Exactly. Sharing is caring, Gary.
Is that your Wii impression?
No, that's just my stupid impression. I don't even have to do impression of myself. That's just...
He sounds just like the host.
Yeah, exactly.
Brothers. Twins. Well, this is pretty greedy from Liquid. They think that the mid lane push is coming, and maybe with, you know, what they've come to expect here is 4 heroes mid and 1 hero bottom lane being the Prophet, but it looks like Liquid have realized that backstab has arrived as no one showed in the mid lane. TA Traps should be able to shove out the next wave as it comes in, but the entire map belongs to the Brazilians right now. There's nowhere for Miracle or
They're
the rest
not
of Liquid to
Brazilians,
maneuver.
they're European team, Gary. They have we.
That's very true.
Same goes for VGJ Storm. Since Resolution joined, it's European team.
See, you know this whole meme about, you know, EG is an NA team because EG is an NA brand, right?
Yes.
VGJ Storm is a Chinese team because VG is a Chinese brand. Does that work?
VGJ Storm is a Chinese brand because Jack is the team director. Shout out to Jack.
Big man Jack. Can't wait to see him on the panel again.
Well, we're not gonna. That's the downside of VGJ Storm playing well. We're not gonna see Jack on the panel.
He'll pop up for TI, I'm sure. Jack's corner was, you know, the greatest thing. Glimpse, GH caught and killed. Down he goes.
That's a gem as well.
And that's no buyback. Sanking bought back with the Morphling not too long ago. He's dead for a good 45 seconds. So Rax here, I think, are going to be given up by Liquid. Sentry dewarded out.
Well, they're still not picking up the gem.
Duster just wanted to get rid of a sentry before he grabbed it, it looks like. How long on the Aegis? 2 minutes. Plenty of time. Plenty of time there for HFN. And now Weehar arrives. That Deso goes to work on the buildings, and Pain Gaming get themselves the first lane of Rax. They're swinging down towards bottom lane. It looks like they'll try and close this one out.
You really didn't feel the influence of the Dragon Knight this game at all. He didn't do the Dragon Knight things. He did the little Draco things.
It feels like Liquid had the problems we thought that Pain might have. BKB from Wii, though, in on to Miracle. He pops the Ghost Scepter, but he is dead, or the E-Blade, sorry, but Duster now. Burrow Epi, in comes GH. Aegis popped, but Duster in trouble, gonna have to sprint himself away. Glimmercape buys some time, but MC in the trees, and Kuroki on his knees as Matuma Man buys back, maybe into his own death, and yeah, he calls the G's. Out they go. Liquid lose the best of one up against Pain Gaming in our initial match.
Yeah, Gary, we talked about the upset that this could happen. I did not like. So just to be clear, I'm not bandwagoning when the team wins. I did not like the Pain Gaming's lineup because they have no comeback potential. But if they're playing well, if they just snowball, which we mentioned a couple of times, this lineup can easily work. They did well on the bottom lane. Also, Morphling.
Yeah.
You need to build an item, like an early BKB. They had not that early Orchid, but against the Disruptor. You're going to need to have a defensive item. The problem is that both GH and Matumbaman were shut down early on, so they could not initiate the fights properly.
I mean, it was super even for the longest time. I don't often care about win probability, but that's kind of the trend that I thought was going along there. You know, as the game progresses, Liquid get bigger and bigger. But the triple Roshan fight around that first Aegis, honestly, was ridiculous in one kind of perspective, but also huge for Pain Gaming. The buyback from the Bounty Hunter that came in,
yeah,
and allowed them to keep that going.
That was a lot of gold. He was just King RD, man. He plays so well. Also, we gotta give a credit to HFN Gyro, and his Gyro is always on point. Even though the top lane was not the strongest one, they did really well. I mean, they played it as a team. As you mentioned, they did not systematic. That's how they play right now. They don't throw away their lead. They were just being patient, waiting for the second row so they can take the cheese and Aegis and just close the game from there.
So, I mean, I didn't ever feel that HFN was like, you know, a big carry. I didn't think, oh, HFN's going to destroy this game on this Gyro. But he was always there in the right place, the right time, hunting the right heroes. You know, he's killing GH first, making sure there's no multi-burrow strikes, focusing the Morphling. It really was pristine. It was real crisp gaming there from Pain. Liquid, you know, first game of the tournament. They've got to warm up a bit. They've got to get themselves nice and heated up. But Pain Gaming, great stuff, great stuff. We do have another best of one as we move ourselves through the groups, as we get ourselves into a nice little 5-10 minute break. And we'll continue with the best of one. So see you guys in a little bit.